Welcome to day 5 of our January challenge 2020 and day 4 of our gentler approach looking at short sections of the Seal Lullaby. Okay, so I'm going to play right from the beginning through into what we're going to learn today, purely because all of this section belongs together. All of these last few days worth add up to the introduction for the entire piece. From tomorrow, I'll then just focus straight in on where we are. But I think it's nice to hear the whole thing put together. And then we'll focus in on learning our new bit, which is from bar 12 onwards. So this is me playing from the beginning. I'll count it in case you want to join in. But feel free just to sit back and listen and follow it along. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so starting in on bar 12, what I hope you heard was the feeling of it being like a ripple, like the swell of the sea. So we have that finger 2 on the middle C, which is the really the end of the phrase. It's what we finished on yesterday. And the left hand was down on C, G, C. So this is how we finished yesterday. But the right hand takes over from this left hand move. And it wants to feel like all 6 of those notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that they all belong together, as though it were just one hand playing it, not 2. We don't want them to stand out and go, oh, I can hear a change of hand there. The listener shouldn't be aware of that. It should just be yum ba dee da dee dum. That isn't to say you can't put some musical movement into it, some swelling of your volume as well as the swell of the water. I tend to find in these bars here that I want to slightly go up in volume in that first bar and bring it down in the second bar, and up in volume in the third bar, which is like the first bar, and then back down in the second bar, the fourth bar, which is like the second bar. So I'll play it for you just to give you that idea. This is starting on bar 12. Increase the volume and then I bring it down, and it's the job of every single note to be involved with that. If it's getting louder or if it's getting softer, to be a bit louder than the note before or to be a bit softer than the note before. So the notes here, C, G, C. Let's forget that middle C for a moment at the beginning of bar 12 and just prepare ourselves ready on D, E and G. So fingers 1 and 2 are either side of the black, and I've got finger 3 involved, 1 string lower. Notice how my fingers are lower than my thumb. There's a bit of space in my thumb. I'm not scrunched up. There's room for my thumb to move, and I've got nice out elbows. Okay, and I play the left hand 4, 2, 1, immediately followed by 3, 2, 1 in the top hand. And you can practice that over and over. Be slower if you want. Once you're comfortable with that, while those are playing, my left hand is going to get ready. Now, I've got a C and a G and an E, and it could be tempting, I'll show you with my right hand in a moment, it could be tempting to think, oh, I could get all of those placed, be really clever. But we don't actually do that. We don't have the E on because actually we want to play that C, then we want to play the G, which would mean hopping over that E. and then we want to play the E. And that's difficult for our brain, because actually what we try and teach ourselves on the harp, and I mean there's always exceptions to this rule, but we try and set the rule up in the first place that we only place in one direction or another. So the C to the G is heading up. Now before I play the G, I can now get my E ready, because the E from that G is downward. Okay, so in your left hand this will actually be. So I have the 3 and the 1 on the C and the G, and it's very comfortable because it's just the outer 2 notes of a triad. I play that C, and now I can get my E on. And again, my brain will cope with that because my thumb was on first. So I'm going to play that first. Okay? Okay, so the left hand, if I just do the left hand from the beginning of 12, I've got the octave and the 5th. A nice comfortable shape where I can just open up my thumb and I can trust my other fingers to be where they need to be. And I practice that. And then I get ready. Now my 3rd finger's going on that red C. My thumb's aiming for the G. And I get my 2nd finger on. Okay, so should we do that in time? We'll do it twice, because actually if you look at the 3rd bar of this, it's the same as the 1st, and the 4th bar of this, it's the same as the 2nd in that left hand. So just the left hand, starting at bar 12, playing through. Here we go, ready? I'll count you in. Nice released shoulders. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and ready and 3 and. Okay, now it is a bit tricky because we've got vibrating strings again that we want to stay sort of firm on, so that we can stop them dead as much as possible. But if we prepare too soon, we're going to stop them dead too soon. We're going to lose the beautiful ringing out of them. So what I did was I placed that first bit, that's fine, play that. I then got my thumb ready on the G, because we've not played that G yet, it's not resonating. And my 3 is hovering, and then it's ready to firmly go on to the C the second I need it. Because that C was still vibrating from when I'd done the 4-2-1. And then I've got to open up again. So my hand is in the right shape, but I'm hovering nearby, and then I'm going to firmly go on just before it's needed. And that's quite a tricky skill to put together. Sort of opening it up and trusting that you can leave it later than you want to and know that it's going to land in the right place. So we'll give it one last go, just this left hand, bar 12. Now really thinking about how late can I go on while still being prepared to go on. And when I go on, can I do it firmly, like I really mean it, because I'm going to control those strings. I'm going to stop them dead in their vibration. Here we go, bar 12 onward, left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and ready and. I'm hovering open, ready and. Thumb ready, on and. Okay, does that make sense? So definitely something to practice. The right hand, nice and straightforward today. We've done the C, which was the end of yesterday's phrase really, at the beginning of 12. We just go one higher with finger 3, D, E and G. Just a nice shape to open up, and we just make sure our fingers are lower. We've got that space in here for our thumb to get to. We play 3, 2, 1. We stay nearby because then we're going to open up to a D and a G. There's no E involved this time. So it's similar to the previous one, but there's no E involved. You could therefore do that D with a finger 3 if you like, because that's the finger that was on that string a minute ago. Or you can do it with finger 2, whichever feels comfortable. I'm going to do a 3 here. And then I'm going to open up again. This time my E is back involved, so 3, 2 and 1, just around this black string. And that's all it does today. and it does it in answer to that left hand, and it's like a swell, or the ebb and flow of the C. Let's put that hands together. Beginning of bar 12. You can either play this middle C if you want, or you can sit ready on the D, E, G just to join in with me today. I'm going to play the C for you. This is the beginning of bar 12, and I'll count you in. Okay, nice breath. Okay, ready. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Oh, that only did 1 bar. It does the same thing again. I'll do it again. Start bar 12. Here we go. You can join in again. Well done if you carried on. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Well done. That's tricky in a way, easy in a way. There's nothing easy about playing the harp really, really beautifully and really, really well in a way. The harp is an absolute joy and delight because it will always sound good. Whether you remember all the things I advise you on or not, you'll still sound gorgeous, but you can sound better if you put that effort into, for example, leaving it as late as possible to reapply. That becomes tricky. So yes, it is easy to make the harp sound nice, but it's also quite a lot of effort, certainly when you're newer to it, to really get the top quality of sound. But oh, it's so worth it. Well done.